Hello YouTubers, happy Easter, it's me again. Welcome to the video today and I hope you enjoy this one. Just a quick couple of ideas I want to show you what I've been doing over this Easter weekend. Number one, of that canopy that I slightly modified. That's an old Airfix canopy and repainted slightly. That's over there on the platform, as you can see by the footbridge. The kit bashed Hornby station building is now over there on the platform. I'll just try and bring the camera around so you can see, and there it is. That looks quite nice, I think. I was going to put the canopy at the rear of the station, but I thought no, it makes sense to put it at the front where everything else is. And that, oops, is quite nice, I think. And whilst I had the layout out today, I've got nothing running at the moment because I'm doing a little bit of maintenance, which I'll show you in a minute. I managed to give the track a clean also in that platform area. It's a little bit grimy, even though I've got an electronic track cleaner wind up to the layout. Gave it a bit of a clean. That house that you see on the curve there, it isn't new, but it's a new addition to the layout in terms of building, so I've put that there. I think that looks quite good there. It's a perfect little fit little house on its own. A bit like the house. Well, these are the houses that not the houses, but these are the type of houses that I grew up in as a very, very small child. I lived in East London, grew up in East London, a little town called Leighton, and I lived in what is now a very famous road to do with the M11 protests. I lived in Claremont Road. And funny enough, number 62 Claremont Road, same as the trains that went past my house every day on the Central Line. But I grew up in these type of houses, and so did my mum and generations of the family. About 4 generations of our family actually grew up in these type of houses in the same street. My aunt's house was on the corner, much like that. So a little bit of sentimental modelling. Anyway, coming around here, I'm going to show you what I've been up to this morning, this Easter weekend. Land of the Giants has returned. Look at this big old beastie. This is the massive coaling stage from Hornby. It's actually quite a rare building now if you can get it. They're about on eBay, but they're quite expensive to buy now. But this was something that I could not leave in the box and get dusty. It had to come out on the layout. I don't care. For obvious reasons, it's extremely heavy, so it cannot be glued down. I mean, I use this stuff for my modelling, by the way. I am going to advertise it. It's brilliant. This is better than any super glue you buy in the store. This is industrial strength super glue. It's very good for modelling and sticking things permanently in place on locos, rolling stock buildings, you name it. It's very good stuff. So even that stuff, though, as strong as it is, would not hold that building because it weighs an absolute ton. It's purely a cast resin building, as are all the scaled down model buildings, but this one is very heavy. So obviously the layout is stored vertically like that as opposed to horizontally. So at the end of the day, when it gets put away, that building would not last a tenth of a second. It'll just fall off and break into oblivion. So it's easy to lift it on and off. But what I have done is properly coupled it up with the ash plant, which is the smaller tower building that I've been using on the layout. But they need to go together because the first one on the left is an ash plant and the larger one is the actual coaling stage. And obviously over a pit road is more prototypical with the ash and everything on the floor as well. But what I have done this morning, guys, just to quickly show you, is I've got the PVA out and my coal dust out, and I've actually PVA'd and dropped in some coal dust. This is actually a mixture of actual loco clinker from the North Yorkshire Moors Railway that's come out of the smoke box. It's been crushed up with real coal dust, blended all together and sprinkled accordingly. And I've put it in between the sleepers as well there, and obviously on this ash road accordingly. I've moved the little water crane from up near the engine shed. It's come all the way up here now because it makes more sense, because if they want to water up and be serviced, it will be on this road as opposed to if it goes across here, it'll block the entrance to that road and fail that area. So just trying to think how things would sit in real life. So there we are, that sits over there, and you can see from that shot there, that's looking better already, isn't it? What do you think? I think adding a little bit of coal dust to the floor really finishes that off lovely. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to wait a good couple of hours, probably to the end of this afternoon into the evening, before I get the vacuum out and give it a very light vacuuming over to vacuum that up, but it will be in place by then. So I'm happy with that, and look at the size of that. That's a massive building, isn't it? I always thought that my chimney on my brewery boiler house here was quite tall, but even poor old Fred's outdwarfed by that monster over there. That's a big building, isn't it? What else have we got? Oh yeah, there we have, is that going to focus properly? Maybe not. I have to zoom it out, do it by hand. There we are. Or not. Anyway, that's remember the station building that I showed you recently in the recent uploads, the kit bashed one from Hornby that's been kit bashed with the Pico canopy. That's now sitting, as you can see, on that platform pad next to the other building. I think that looks pretty good. That does look rather nice, I think. And then over there we've got that Airfix canopy that I painted and I bought off eBay with the platform bundle, that's been reglazed and repainted, and I made some legs for it as well. Let's come over here and get a general shot of that area, what I've been talking about, shall we? Let's wander over here with me. I think that looks quite nice. So there we go. Other thing to note as well, the other thing that I've put down here is this little single house here, sitting all by its lonesome self on that corner. There's a reason for that. It's a little bit of a sentimental homage to my youth, my childhood, because I grew up as a very small boy in a famous, well, it's now famous because it doesn't exist anymore, but it's famous sadly for one thing, and that was the M11 Link Road protests in East London. I grew up in East London in a town called Leighton, and I lived on a road called Claremont Road, which looked a little bit like this road here. And these are the exact type of houses that I grew up in, very similar. So my aunt's house was on the corner, and the central line used to run parallel to our road. It was a cut-through road that had turnings on either end of the road to the main road, which was Grove Green Road. And my aunt's house was on the corner, right next to the central line, like that. And as a small boy, I used to go to my aunt's house and ask her if it was all right to go upstairs to one of the bedrooms so I could get a bird's eye view of the 62 stock central line tube trains running past. And I used to wave out the window, and some of the drivers used to toot up, which was quite nice. But yeah, this reminds me a lot of Claremont Road a little bit. So a little bit of a sentimental homage there. So that's really what I've been up to this Easter weekend. No trains running at the moment today because I've been mucking about putting that coal dust and clinker mix over there in the loco yard and just farting about here and there with a few ideas. But yeah, that's where we're at, and that's what I thought I'd just share with you today. So again, have a lovely Easter, whatever you're up to, by yourselves or with the family around the world. Have a lovely one, and I will see you in the next upload. And do like and subscribe, it means a lot, and thank you for checking out the videos. I love it, I love your feedback, and let's continue in the hobby, shall we? Okay, see you soon, take care, happy Easter.